a year ago, a bit more than a year ago, I went to my first United Nations conference on climate change in Buenos Aires, in Argentina. And then I was a new Minister of the Environment. And I went there, and I thought, with a naive attitude, that the world would agree. But in fact, the world was very, very divided. And it's why Buenos Aires, at the end of the day, ended up with nothing. And then many countries came to see me and Prime Minister Martin and said, next year, Canada, take it, please. And I said, well, what is the likelihood of a success? It seems that there is no possibility to succeed. I asked myself, can we say no when global warming is so important threat? If Canada is a good citizen of the world, maybe we should say yes. And I spoke to the Prime Minister Blair, from the Prime Minister, or the other leaders of the world, phoned him. And at the end of the day, we accepted to take it. But what a gamble it was. And if I have known at that time that we would be in the middle of an election, I think we would... So we accepted the conference in February. In April, we came with moving forward on climate change, a plan for honoring our Kyoto commitment. 270 megatons that we need to cut in Canada. Our emissions are going up, as you know. It's 24% over zero of our 1990 emissions. And we need to be -6. So 30% of cuts between now and 2012. And at Montreal, what our strategy was to bring the world in Montreal. We have 10,000 people there. Many of you, I'm sure, were there. And you have NGOs of every country, including the United States, municipal leaders. We had premiers from provinces of Canada or states of the United States and so on. We had scientists. And all of this created a kind of milieu, of network that predispose well the leaders of the world to go ahead and to find the solutions together. The United States has been very difficult all along the conference, the same for Saudi Arabia. And our strategy first has been to convince China in order to modify India. And when China went on board, US called home and said, well, China is coming with Dion. What do we do? And then the United States accepted. So I don't want to raise the issue of the campaign, and I would never do that if there was a consensus in Canada about it. If everybody was on board, it's not a partisan issue anymore. But my duty is to say that we are divided as a nation. And even though Kyoto is popular in the polls, 90% of support, you have a leading party ahead in polls today, it seems, that is officially against Kyoto. And the leader of this party, Mr. Harper, repeated that only today. Whatever you think about this plan, you may think we need to improve it or whatever. I think you may agree that we need to do this kind of things. We need to give targets to our industry. We need to try to build in Canada a carbon market scheme, to put a price to the ton of carbon in order to speed up the use of the environmental technologies. If we follow the other view, is to say, no, don't give targets to the industry. It will not work. Give them incentives, invest in technology, and that's it. And then, if you don't implement Kyoto in Canada, why to push for it around the world? So forget it and say that to the world. I think it's a tragedy if we are doing that in Canada, but it's a tragedy for the world because I tell you that then the balance of the world will change. Instead to be a force to improve the forces of change, the force of progress around the world, Canada will be part of the forces of resistance. And this will affect, for instance, the debate in the United States today. Many states, many congressmen and women are saying we should have a kind of Kyoto in the United States. And they are using the courage of Canada. It's true that Canada doesn't have an economy that is as easy as the European one to match with the Kyoto requirements. But Canadians are going ahead despite of it. Many American leaders are saying that. The same in Australia, where all the states are pro-Kyoto, but Canberra is against, but is willing to be in dialogue with us because we have pushed that. I went in Australia, and the progressive forces create a pressure on the government to work with me. The same in Europe. Many forces in Germany at the last election, many business people were saying we should be out of Kyoto. There is a lobby there in Europe. And I think Canada will strengthen these lobbies, while today is the contrary. Canada has even some champions of the industry that just before the conference said, hey, go ahead with your targets. We need it. We don't want to go at the speed of the slow movers. We want to go at the speed of the champions. So let me tell you that the 23 of January, in the ballot box, I want Canadians to know what is at stake. If we are serious when we say that climate change is the worst ecological threat for humanity, then it should be an issue for the campaign, for ourselves and our children, and the next generations, for our ridings, but also for the planet, and let people decide. But I want them to know that, yes, we are a divided nation. The two leading parties don't have the same view. In fact, it is one party that doesn't have the same view that the other parties. I have nothing to say today about the NDP. I think I have a better plan than Mr. Layton, but we will discuss about it. But we agree about the direction to take. Unfortunately, it's not the same with Mr. Harper and the Conservative Party, and that's why I'm raising it. Otherwise, I would not. I would not make it a partisan issue, but it is one. So, to conclude, before to take all your questions, climate change is a very important issue. It's a crucial one. Canada has a role to play because we are part of the problem. We must be part of the solution here in Canada, domestically, and internationally, because Canada has a sense if Canada is a good citizen of the world.